Okay, welcome Juno community. We have our special guest here today, lead dev, Reece. How's it all going today, man?
It's going really good. It's been a busy day, sharing updates and making sure that the chain upgrade's successful on testnet. So it's been really fun.
Now, it wasn't too long ago we shipped v16. Before I've even had a cup of tea, you've got v17 ready. Is this what we're going to talk a little bit about today?
We do, yes. So we had the version 16 upgrade, which refactored the entire code base last month, roughly about 29 days ago, and we're already shipping version 17 on testnet, getting that ready for mainnet here in the next couple weeks.
Yes, so I remember you mentioning v16 was that big of a deal, but it was sort of, let's say, condensed a little bit where we've had to now push some extra stuff on v17.
Yeah, so the version 16 upgrade was about 500,000 lines of code change. We needed to make sure that those worked without adding any new features. We successfully launched that. We only had one very minor feature, which is being tweaked in version 17, nothing significant. And so that's going to be resolved. And now we're taking all of features from even past upgrades back in like version 14, version 15 that we had planned and ready to go, but we've just been putting it off, waiting for the right time. And we believe now is that time. And so we're pushing all of these great upgrades together into one massive upgrade and pushing all these features out to developers as well as users.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, let's get into it. Run over some of the key features then, what we're going to expect here on the chain. Yeah, fire on.
Yep. So with this new upgrade, we've got two new modules coming in it. This is the x/drip module. This is from Demi and the Maiden Block Validator, as well as myself, I've created the clock module. So these are the two big modules that are coming with this upgrade. We've also decreased block times down from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. So about a 50% improvement there. We've redone the structuring for our bindings so that way the token factory will now mesh correctly with Osmosis for cross-chain applications. Specifically, DAO needed this for them. So now we're pushing this through so contract developers have better interoperations with other chains like that. And then we have some new contract features that are coming out as well. So these are like the big high level things, and we're super excited about that.
What's the drip module? What's it doing?
So the drip module is an easy way for a new project to airdrop its token to all Juno stakers evenly based off of their staked amounts. So right now, the way that you need to do this is you launch your token, you can create another contract that handles this for you and users come claim that, or your other option is to create an account with all of those tokens, write a script to get every single staker on chain, and then to send tokens to each one of those accounts and do all the math and all of that. What Drip does is it allows for you to submit a governance proposal that says, hey, we want this account to be able to send tokens to all Juno stakers based off of their stake weight. And then all you have to do is run a single command at the command line that says, here's my token, and I want to send that to all stakers. And so they run that one transaction, and then they've airdropped it to everyone on your next Kepler claim. And so we thought that this was important as we want to be an incubator of projects. We also need to make it easy to airdrop your token for usage within your project. And that's what the drip module does.
Excellent stuff. Now, does this mean that you can then do specific airdrops to not just stakers from a specific snapshot and the chain's history? Does this mean that you can actually look at more detailed data and say, well, these have been real Juno hodlers, we're going to airdrop them a little bit more? Is this enabling that?
So currently it does not have that support. Right now it's just evenly giving every single Juno staker, their portion of an airdrop. So if there was only 2 stakers on chain and you deposited 1 token, each one would get half of that on their next Kepler claim, or through your bot or auth Z recompounding, whatever the case may be. In the future, we can look at allowing for different like weightings where maybe people with more than 100 Juno get more of a percent versus lower ones. But right now, the base module, we just wanted to make sure to get it out there so that way it can get used in production. So the clock module is our big step into CosmWasm based modules, which allows for a contract to be more like how standard SDK modules work. So if you think about as you're a staker, every single 6 seconds currently, you're able to see your staking rewards tick up as you've had those staked. And so this is at the end of the block. All of this is computed. And based off of that, you're able to see that increase. The thing is that smart contracts up until this point have not had this option. The only way for a smart contract to increase is for you as the user to directly interact with it, or a dev to set up a bot to interact with it every single, say, 6 seconds if they wanted that functionality. This adds extra overhead. It requires more programming knowledge, and building up a fee account so that way you can actually pay for those transactions. And overall, it's just a hassle for developers. So I come up with a solution that allows for a smart contract to do a large amount of computation, and based off of this, perform whatever logic they want within their smart contract every single block. That could be cleaning up old accounts in the contract, checking for some state that maybe they want to remove based off of, like, imagine that you had an Oracle and every single 6 seconds they needed to submit that. If they've not submitted it within, say, 600 seconds, maybe you want to take them off because they're not submitting data properly, auto compounding rewards with CW20 tokens, and some things with DAO Cronocats in the future as well. So it allows for smart contracts to execute all the time with up to 1 billion gas. That's currently a small amount. We can increase this in the future. That will not be in the block, but it's after the block has already been created and transactions are in. Now they can perform all the logic that they want to do whatever cleanup they need, and then they can continue on to the next block. And normal user transactions still go through, but at the same time they get this extra opportunity of logic.
That's amazing. Really good. I've been playing around with Rust, and I think you've touched on something that I was learning. I'll talk to you off comms on this one, but yeah, it sounds very similar. Like, it's unbelievable, man.
Yep.
Great stuff, mate. You're shipping on ahead here. Talk to us a little bit about the token. Now, native tokens on Osmosis, native tokens on Juno. What is it? Is that anything to do with what you've released here?
The Token Factory, we've already had Token Factory for, I believe, 2 or 3 upgrades now. And we wanted to match the Token Factory messages to work with the same bindings of contracts. What this means is, if I have a contract on Juno, it's going to use Juno's bindings of Token Factory. Then on Osmosis, they use their own bindings of Token Factory. Now, we're both using the same module, but there are very slight variations in this. With this upgrade, we've matched where the variations are no longer a thing. You can use Juno's bindings on Osmosis as well. This has allowed for DAO to now launch on Osmosis, and we'll be able to have Token Factory DAOs between Juno and Osmosis together. And so this allows for more DeFi between Osmosis and Juno, and you're able to use the same bindings on both places. It's easier for testing. It's better for just, overall, it's just a very nice developer experience. Without this, a developer would have to compile one contract with one binding, then fork that into another contract, change out the bindings, which is going to be like a very small name change, recompile it, and make sure to launch the correct ones on each chain. And so this has resolved that. It's better for developers. It's better for users as well, from a faster, from idea to production quicker. And so overall, we thought that this was an important thing. It will break current smart contracts, but we think that that is a very small price to pay versus the interoperability that we'll get now with new protocols that use Token Factory.
Yeah, totally, 100%, man. It makes a lot of sense, that especially because you never know the amount of tokens that start coming on, and it's like the headache on that. Yeah, it makes sense what you did there. Have I missed anything out here?
Yeah.
What's the last one?
So the final big feature that we're adding is that now fee share contracts can be registered by DAO directly. So if you launch your contract through DAO, you're able to then use fee share, and you can register your contract through DAO as well and have those fees come back to your DAO. So multiple members can now launch a contract, can say, we want those fees to come back to us. And now those members are in control versus another, separate wallet needing to be that before. So we're excited about this. Okay. This has been something highly asked by many DAOs for NFT projects, as well as just, normal users there. So we're excited to have that go through, and yeah, that's the big update there.
That's great stuff. Yeah, fantastic. Are you happy with DAO moving to other chains now? You're starting to see the use case of the incubation theory that Juno's now challenging, which I think is great. DAO's now pioneering, looking ahead and making moves, and it seems to be working fine. Are you happy with all that at the moment? Are you seeing good progress?
Yeah, DAO is definitely the best UI that we have in Cosmos, and with it going to be multi-chain, whether that be Neutron, Stargaze, Osmosis, we need it on other chains too, not just Juno. And built on top of that with things like Polytone, allowing for cross-chain DAOs, it's really important. And I think it'll keep the UI, to be streamlined across all these different different chains, which is useful for users that, if we use it on one chain, they can use it on the other simply, and they'll just have those chain specific features, for example, like on Juno with fee share, on other contract platforms with their own modules. So super useful. Definitely, love seeing the vision of the interchain actually grow out, and love their UI. So excited about that change there.
Excellent stuff. Is there anything else that I might have missed out you would like to add in detail here?
So on our future roadmap, our biggest things right now are CosmWasm modules, as well as us signaling increasing the Nakamoto coefficient, which is based off of validators. CosmWasm modules is going to be a developer platform that will allow for devs to build contracts which interact with the SDK at a really low layer. This can be minting tokens. This can be getting all staked accounts and doing some function with them, as well as, like, in the future, maybe migrations and things as well. So this is a special access contract, built for quicker development, which is going to include things such as DAO and bringing that into the chain binary directly, and allowing for us to interact natively with, say, multiple choice voting and things like that. So this is a very exciting update there on the future roadmap. With that, though, this begins to end our development roadmap and complete this out based off of the evolution ideas that we've discussed, as well as our previous roadmap over the past year that we've now been able to get through and push everything to this v17 upgrade and really narrow it down into, connecting CosmWasm modules, increasing the Nakamoto coefficient, and then using new light clients to connect to things like the Polkadot ecosystem as well. So these are like our last big three things here. And while they're not, they will take time, we're now reaching the end of this and looking for that next step in Juno. And so, as we've seen, a lot of users across Cosmos, not just Juno, complain about there's a lack of dApps, there's a lack of developers, there's a lack of usability of these tokens. My focus is now able to begin to transition into this new period of time where we've got the best tech, we've built up all this tooling and infrastructure, and while it's not perfect, we're a lot closer than a lot of chains. We've been working hard on this, and we're now able to push this forward and go through with getting new developers onboarded. So we're going to see this more with me working with Jake on Elite Society. And this is a small group of direct mentorship, which will go through live coding reviews, live discussions on how to actually go from an idea to market. And we're going to have multiple different examples of this. We believe that we've found a strong developer community that is currently underpaid, not in crypto, that we can bring on, pay a reasonable wage to, which is significantly higher than their current rate, but at the same time much lower than the crypto overpriced area. Bring them in, teach them CosmWasm, allow them to interact with a protocol idea that I've discussed with the Core 1 team. They're very excited about it. I am as well. Teach them onboarding and begin to create applications on top of CosmWasm, leveraging everything that we've done over the past 11 months that I've been here. So all of this tooling that we've brought up, we brought it up faster than what other teams have. There's entire teams that are dedicated to some parts of these tooling, and we've built up what we think is necessary to go from zero to launching in production. And we're excited about that, and that is the next step in Juno's journey here.
This is the exciting part, because I was talking to Jake the other day, and it's like, the amount of members in that Elite Society is quite impressive. So that's great, and what a great place to be networking, man. If you're in about the same education, the same group of people, these are facing problems together. These are all in it together. It's from zero to hero, so to speak. Let's build it all together. And if you know a bit of Rust, take it from me, man. I'm learning Rust at the moment, and I'm understanding standard libraries, how crates work. And it's like, once you delve into there, CosmWasm is another crate built on Rust. It's just incredible to see. And I'm excited for it as well. Yeah,
it's exciting because we've actually been fleshing this out over the past month with onboarding someone new. They've had almost zero experience with crypto other than like USDC payments. Like, they didn't understand anything. Teaching them Cosmos, teaching them the SDK. They're now building out their own module on chain. So it's proving that these developers are highly skilled, and that they're able to understand the Cosmos SDK quicker than other onboardings have been successful. And now bringing that in, reusing his learnings there and notes, and being able to then put that to Elite Society to allow for very quick onboarding relative to the past. And so that's our focus, is we have found a large group of developers who we believe will be interested due to the pay increase from where they are now, and being able to have them come build their own protocols here on Juno based off of any ideas. And if they do need ideas, Elite Society will be there to help them with, fleshing out those different ideas and bringing it to them to allow them to go implement and then get direct mentorship from us, including me, Jake, as well as some others.
Amazing. We see other chains asking for Juno liquidity to help kickstart Juno token on other chains. The crying wolf here is basically, we have the applications, blah, 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 blah. You'll get access to these applications. Can you see a future where Juno gets to a position where it's now building applications with these, like the Elite Society, people are interested? Do you think what will happen is these chains might just start coming back to Juno because they'll see all this tech and go, we shouldn't have left?
I think that as we see more apps, provided that Elite Society is successful in this next iteration, and showing that apps can be built, apps may have their own token for some use case, but I think that a lot of apps can actually use the Juno token, and not everything needs its own token. We've shown this with JunoCraft, where we put Minecraft onto Juno Network. It's the latest and greatest tech. We're able to do that. We're able to build a Minecraft-based dueling game on top of Juno, and then from there, users can use the Juno token natively. And then how do we make money off of that? Well, we can charge based off of fees. We can use fee share, which allows for 50% of gas fees to be sent to the contract developer. We can add a extra betting, quote unquote tax. Well, it's not a tax, but like a premium to play the game. So maybe a 25 Juno bet, you actually pay say an extra 1 Juno on top of that, which then goes to the server to help sustain it. And we need more protocols like this that are what is called real yield, and allow this both in the DEX, the DEX side, as well as leveraging things like JunoCraft to teach the game side of, here's how to build a game, what stops a Juno roadblocks or something like that, or maybe a Juno web-based game where you use something like Unity. And we need these sort of interactions there and work to create these important protocols and give utility to the token, not because the token is extremely necessary, but because it's important to have it on the blockchain itself and to leverage the technology that we have here. And so that's what's important here. Other chains are, of course, we're going to want to capitalize on this. And we open them with open arms of having IBC based, protocols here that allow for building games and things like this cross chain. So we're excited about this. We need to focus on Juno, and others are going to see that success coming up, as we've shown from the tech side that we can do. And now we have to show it on the management and the onboarding side as well. And so that's what we have planned. Absolutely excellent.
Reece, thanks for your time. Thanks for updating the community as always. And thank you so much for your hard work, man. It's stellar stuff that you're putting out here for Juno. When will we hear from you again? V18?
Absolutely. Yes, V18, which, I'm not sure how close it'll be to this one, but we'll try to still make it a quick upgrade. So hopefully soon.
Excellent, man. Thanks for your time again. And thanks for the community for tuning in. As always, we'll keep you posted here on Juno Communications. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.